Hey everybody, welcome to Quarantine with Comics number 7. I need a number 5, please. Number 7. Last time we said it was number 7, but it was really number 6. So this time it's number 7. So I'm Matt.
I'm Eliana. I'm Abigail.
I'd like to welcome Abigail as her first full-time gig here with us. And she'll be with us the whole time and not just a special guest like she has in the past. So let's look at our shirts. What are we wearing today, folks?
Got this R2D2 Ohio Valley Batman.
Ohio Valley Batman.
R2D2 shirt.
R2D2.
Thank you.
R2D2 is one of my favorite characters. And I got this from my brother-in-law. It's the dude as a Jedi Knight, Jeff Lebowski. So that's pretty exciting. So I think I'll start things off and review this Agents of Atlas. So I got this because I read Arrow number 1 last week, and I thought it was pretty good. So I wanted to. She's actually part of this group, and it was pretty good. I liked it. It wasn't too bogged down. It's a pretty interesting story. It's about a group of young superheroes who work for this secret. It's not really a secret organization, but it's this organization. It's been around for a while, but this is like a whole brand new group of heroes that are protecting it. So there are some interesting characters, and they are from all around the world. Some of them are from New York City, some of them are from like Shanghai, some of them are from Singapore. So they're scattered all over the world, and they all have very unique powers that they use, and they are fighting. You find out that there is an ancient group of dragons that are going to go to war who have been controlling different groups on Earth. And so they're sort of caught up right in the middle of that. So I think it's well done. It's fun. It's kind of light and fluffy, but I think it's good. I liked it. So that's my first one, Eliana.
This one is Life with Archie, number 258. I just read like the first little short story. It's pretty much about Veronica wants to show this fabulous new home entertainment center, and she like calls everyone and said, "No, I can't. I have to go to Soup Kitchen." And so she gets mad because everyone isn't paying attention to her. So she's like, "Okay, I'm just gonna drive down there, see what all the fuss is about." She drives down there, and then like she gets out and she's like, "Okay, this isn't like what's happening. Like, why are you guys getting free food?" And it was because there people like everyone was helping like the less fortunate, and so she doesn't understand that yet. And so they explain to her like what it's like and everything, and they're like, and she finally understands it. So then the next day, she goes and she gets all the food from this restaurant because like it's like a restaurant her dad owns or something, or some family member, someone she knows, and she drives down with all the food, and then the business is gonna get closed down because they kind of basically stole the other restaurant's food.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no! But she was trying to help, and she tried to, and that's what it is. Sorry, yeah.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna do one more before Abigail's turn. So I have more comic books today than Abigail. So we'll save hers for later. Okay, my next comic book is Supergirl, number 14. Now, I got this because I like the cover. I think it's a cool cover. So there's a girl in like a coffee shop sitting at a table. She's looking out the window, and in the reflection of the window, you can see Supergirl flying by, which I thought was a cool concept. I thought it was pretty neat cover. Check it out.
Oh, that
So
is
she's
cool.
sitting inside
That's
the
so cool.
coffee
It's
shop.
like a 3D.
Yeah, and this is the
that's-
reflection. So
That's
I thought that cover was cool.
It's cool
So-
how they could do that. That's like
This is not my cover of the week, by the way. I'm just explaining. This is why I bought the comic book.
that's so cool.
So I ended up reading it, and I was really surprised because I liked it.
Mhm.
I'm not usually, like I've said a million times, I'm not usually a DC fan, but I guess maybe I am. I don't know. But my younger self would be really upset about that. But I read it, and I really liked it. She has apparently, she just got her powers back, but they're uncontrollable. They're out of control, and she needs to figure out a way to get control of them. And so she goes with a friend to this like master who like does martial arts and whatnot and works with energy work. And he teaches her how to control her life energy. And so she's like super scientific. Her people, you know, were super scientific people. There wasn't any like spirituality in their cultures or anything. So she like resists the idea of this like life force being a real thing. And so this master teaches her how to control her life force. And then she's able to control her powers in a very sticky situation. So I thought it was great. The writing's well done. It's like pretty straightforward. I like simple things, apparently. So this was pretty well done. The other cool thing about these that I'm finding out is you could pick this up and read it like at any point, like I'm finding, like in the series, because as you're reading it, if it references something about past issues, it will have like an asterisk and like a little explanation at the bottom. So it'll say like
yeah.
down here, you know, it'll have like a little thing there, and it'll say like she got shot by a mysterious gun that sent her powers haywire in issue 12. So you can go back and see like say, oh, I want to learn more about that and go to issue 12, but at least you know what's happening. So you don't have to, you can just pick up, and if you can't get, you know, like a number 1 or a number 2, you can pick it up anywhere in a series, and there's a little bit of explanation. So that's my Supergirl. Thought it was pretty cool. Eliana, why don't you go? How many do you have? 4?
Yeah.
You did 1, so you have 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you go again?
Yeah. Okay, so this is the second comic book that I will be reviewing. Sorry, I keep on blocking your face. It is Angel number 1. Okay, and so Angel moves to Sunnydale, and he's like he doesn't know why he's visiting, and he goes and visits this like friend of his that he saved. And so, like, they're like, you should meet my daughter. He's like, you should meet my daughter. Like, how about you meet my daughter? Like, I want to show her the person who saved me. And he's like, no, I don't want to meet her because, like, I'm a vampire. I don't want to do that. And so he walks out. And the sad part is that there's something in, like, teenagers are figuring out what the reality of the world is before, like, at a very young age. And so, like, I mean, to be honest, it's kind of true. And sadly,
So true.
Yeah, very true. And sadly, the person who was Angel's friend died because of like the daughter like set the house on fire because of like something like it says you're beautiful and like I don't know what happened, but like it was like a link in like the space, and then she just went kind of nuts. I don't know what happened, but it was so cool. I really like it. I really like the series because it's really funny and points, and I just also really love the cover. It's so cool.
So the first one you read was Angel number 0, right?
Yeah, number 0.
So
That's another
sometimes
thing I
Boom
like.
will go like 0, 1,
1,
2.
2.
Dark Horse will do that too.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, Abigail,
I'm going to...
you roll.
Okay, so the first comic book I'm going to review is Jughead. So the first comic in the series. And basically, Jughead is a werewolf at night, and he can't control that, but he tries to lock himself up, but it doesn't work, and he ends up killing a bunch of people, and so he feels really bad, and so he leaves.
He kills people?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, he's a werewolf. He can't control that.
Jughead.
He leaves Riverdale because he just wants to leave because he doesn't want to be there because he doesn't want to harm more people that he knows, and he runs away and joins a circus, and he meets this one woman, and he goes by Smith, and her name's Abby, and then at night he chains himself like to his little trailer that he lives in now because he's with the circus. And then he wakes up and he's in a tiger cage with lions and tigers.
Oh my.
And then he's like, why am I here? And then he's like, oh no, did I break my chains? And then he sees Abby being like, she's all mutilated, and you could see like half of her arm. And it was crazy. And then he goes back to his like little trailer and realizes it's pretty graphic. Hold on.
Yeah, do we really need to show that?
Sorry.
It's a family show. What if Rowan's watching?
Skip that part. And he goes back to his trailer and realizes he didn't break out of his shackles. So someone undid them. Someone let him out while he was a werewolf. And then he goes back to Riverdale and goes to Veronica's house, and he's like, he calls her, and he's like, I'm really close. I can hear you talking about Betty and what's his name? The redhead.
Archie?
Archie, yeah. And she's like, those two people, they told everybody that I died, and she's like, I thought you were dead. And he's like, no, I ran away. And then she was like, why don't you open the door for me? And then he stands in her house as a giant werewolf.
Yikes.
Go. I like
this.
So she's a werewolf? No. She's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. What am I supposed to do? And that's where the comic book ends.
Oh, he's the
werewolf. He's the werewolf. And he can't control it. And he does stuff when he is a werewolf that he doesn't want to do, but he doesn't know how to control it. And
Archie's, man, not what they used to be back in the old days.
Archie
you don't know,
and
like,
Betty.
you don't know what I read.
Archie.
Go ahead.
Archie and Veronica are actually trying to hunt down the werewolf, and they don't know that it's Jughead. And so they're trying to find him and try to stop this werewolf. And if they see the werewolf, they're going to try to shoot it. And he doesn't want that to happen because he doesn't want to die because he's normal by day. So.
All right. Excellent. Eliana, do you want me to go?
Okay.
Or do you want to go?
Okay.
Why don't I go?
Okay.
Okay. The next one that I have is Spider-Man. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. This is number 42. Last week I read number 41. This is excellent. I'm loving this Spider-Man run right here. So at the end of the last one, you see Gog. I think they call him Gog. He showed up. This great big giant guy. And Spider-Man knows him. He's faced this guy before. And he always has this sense that he's not as bad as you think he is.
Spider senses.
Well, he just has this feeling that he's not that bad. That there's something about him that is not. It's a little more complicated than he's just a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
So in this episode, you get to learn exactly what happened in that creature's life in another dimension. And it's super sweet. He's sort of like a little, and he's not a great big giant monster in the other dimension. He's like a little creature, and he's like a pet in another dimension, and he belongs to this little boy, and he's so sweet, and the boy loves him, and he loves the boy, and so you get to read the sort of sad story about how they got separated and how Gog came to be what he is right now. But still, by the end of it, you realize that he's not doing anything bad. He's like fulfilling a mission that he was sent on. So there will be more information about that in the coming comics, I'm sure. But I love it. It's great. This is a fun story. Super, super cool. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. It's awesome. Okay, Eliana,
Okay.
how many do you have?
I have 2.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. So, this one is called Hellmouth. It is number 1. And, pretty much, so Drusilla, this is also Buffy the Vampire Slayer series. You guys can watch it. You guys can experience it. It's a really good show. I definitely recommend it. Anyway, so Drusilla, a vampire, opens the Hellmouth. And Giles informs everybody about the situation, And so Buffy and friends, they try to take action to stop everything that's happening, and then Buffy and Angel meet up, and if you know what happens, it's crazy. But they try to defeat together, and it's just a chaotic mess, and then at the end they say it's but it's only the beginning, and so it's pretty much I think that they defeated it, but I'm not positive. But I'm pretty sure it did. Yeah, and I really like this picture. It's just I thought it was cool. I like
that. Is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. All right, that's 1 of 5, right?
Yeah, it's just
okay.
1 of 5.
So it's 1 of 5. So we'll be looking for that, the next one. All right, I'm gonna do my last one. And then Abigail, you can do one, and then Eliana, you can do one. Okay, this is number 2. Close your ears, girls. Of the man who effed up time.
I see.
So I reviewed the first one, a couple weeks ago. If you remember, he goes back in time to try to get his girlfriend back and to get back at this bully that stole his work at the science lab and all that sort of stuff. And he messes things up. And when he comes back out of the time machine, everybody looks like Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was not assassinated, and the world is being run by kings that are descendants of Abraham Lincoln. It's really weird. There's dinosaurs. All of history has been completely changed. So these robots come and they're like the time police or something, and they're like, if you don't fix this, we will go back in time and kill you as a baby. And so it would all go back to normal, and he wouldn't have affected anything. So this is the next chapter in that storyline where he's trying to fix everything. And he goes through everything that he did the first time and tries to fix it. But when he comes back out, everything's completely different again. So now it's not Abraham Lincoln. Well, Abraham Lincoln is still involved. But now it's medieval times. And there are knights, and he's wanted. It's crazy. So we'll have to see if the time police show up again, and whether he's able to fix things so that they're back to normal. But he didn't do a very good job this time.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
But it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Mm.
It's silly and a good read. Okay, Abigail,
Okay.
you're up.
So this is the Unstoppable Wasp, and in this is the first one in the series, and in this one, they in this bank, there's these people that are wearing like full hazmat suits and guns, and they go in, and they're like crazy scientists and they're called there. So they go there, and then they're in these pod thingies that look like like wasps, like this, and they are part of the acronym GIRL, which is Geniuses in Action Research Labs, and they go in and there's tanks everywhere, and they have to get in to see what they're doing. And while this is happening, someone's trying to do this expo on them, so then they can get a spot and they can talk to a bunch of high schoolers from different schools about what they do and try to expand that. And she goes in, the Unstoppable Wash. She goes in and she's kicking butt and she's going through, and then she meets this person who she doesn't know who it is at first, and then she realizes it's an old friend of hers who she's met at this recruitment, and they have a fight, and she's trying to get this little box, and it has a lot of information. But right before she can get it, the girl takes it and she zaps her way out, and she disappears. And then in the next issue, you gotta see what happens.
Yowzers.
Yeah.
I like the Unstoppable Wasp. I think she's cool.
I like the whole team of people.
Cool. All right, E.
Okay.
Do the last comic.
So this is called Pep.
Pep. I gotta tell you something. In the respiratory therapy world, PEP is a therapy that you use on patients. It stands for positive expiratory pressure. But that's not what this comic book is about. So carry on. Carry on.
This is called Pep. It is number 226. 326.
326?
326. I know, it's crazy. There are a lot. And in this one, Archie and Veronica are gonna go on like a little mini date or something, but Veronica ditches him, and she's like, "I'm gonna go with Ronnie to the movies," and so they go to the movies together, and then like Betty comes over and she's like, "Hey Archie, you wanna hang out?" And so he's like, "Sure," and so you know they hang out, but right as like they're gonna like eat food and stuff, Jughead comes over because he overhears them earlier. And he's like, "Oh, like I do a coincidence seeing you guys here at your own house." And then he tries to chase him out. It does not go well. And then in the end, Ronnie, Jughead, and Archie just eat dinner at Betty's house, and she is not happy.
Wow.
Wow.
Fascinating. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay. It is time, once again, for... Do you have a cover of the week?
Yes, I do.
Okay. It is time, once again... Oh, that's right. For the cover of the week. Our picks for the cover of the week. Solely based on what we like artistically. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, Abigail, you're up.
Mine is the Jughead because I really like the contrast of red to black, and the werewolf's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like
it's
that moon.
It's mysterious.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just like what's going on.
Oh, I like how it says.
And it says hunger.
And
blood, and I like that.
Oh,
and it's just really creepy, and kind of like what's gonna be up.
Making me a little bit nervous. Maybe you're a werewolf, and I don't know it. Okay, who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay, you're up.
This is The Labyrinth. I love that movie.
Good movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like it because, like, I don't know what, like, you know, the picture's about, but to me, it's like, even though everyone needs, like, a friend. That's what it reminds me of. And I also just like the gray, like the black and white. And I think it's so pretty, and they just seem so peaceful. It's like so cute.
That's an excellent cover. Very lovely. I think our food might be here. So I'm going to do my cover of the week, and then we're going to sign off. so we can eat dinner.
Yay!
This episode of Quarantine with Comics is brought to you by Bocelli's. I'm just kidding. It's not. It's not. We don't have a sponsor. Okay.
Sure.
My cover of the week is one of my
Whoa.
all-time favorite TV shows when I was a kid. When I was growing up, I watched this all the time. Like, literally all the time. I would race home from school and when I was in grade school to watch this show. And it is Ultraman.
Ooh.
There
That's
he
a
is.
cool cover.
Oh, Ultraman. This is what they refer to as a virgin cover, which means there is no writing on it, and it's just a picture. So this is Ultraman number 1. I haven't read this yet, but I'm going to read it. It also comes with a card of one of the monsters that was part of the Ultraman storyline.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
It is
kinda
cool. So I love this. It's awesome. It's pretty cool. So that's it, folks. If you have any comments, put them below. And if you like this show, subscribe and like and share and do all that stuff. And do you guys have anything else to add?
Where's the last video?
Oh, well, the video, let's see. The subscribe button maybe we'll put here this time. The last video will be maybe here this time. I don't know. We'll have to see. We're not too good at technology right now with our editing. You know, we have an executive producer, and we need a technical person to do all of our fancy special effects. So anyway, we are gonna eat pizza and probably watch Buffy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Most likely. So we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Peace.